and you just got your little orange paint thing and you sprayed it, and
right.
I said you were so confident and said that we're so passionate. My husband, I said, okay.
Probably 24, 25 years ago, we built this waterfall. Haven't seen it in a few years, but talk about an impact. The biggest impact that you could possibly have, look at that, is a front yard water feature. Check that one out. How gorgeous is that? That's been going for 20-some years out there. So I just got dropped off by Brian to see this front yard water feature. I'm Greg Wittstock, the Pond Guy. This is my channel, Greg Wittstock, the Pond Guy, and I actually physically built this, which means it was a long time ago. Brian's been with us 23 years. This was before his time, so 24, 25 years ago. But look at how this frames. Ann says that people literally just come and stop here because they're so surprised that this waterfall is in a front yard. And so you want to make an impact from the curb, don't worry about making the grass greener, put in a waterfalls. So this was awesome because there was a natural slope that was already here. But look at that water quality. They got a couple goldfish down here, small water feature, and then look at how nice this is at the front door. Biofalls facing the house. How nice is that? So this is hilarious. This was 1996, so it was 22 years ago that we ended up building this. And it was for Ann Stewart. Thank you, Ann. And she keeps everything, I guess.
I do. Not a hoarder, but...
Our contracts have not changed much, and it was really funny. I could see I did the math wrong, so I had to cross it out and redo it. But under $5,000.
Which is why he has me doing the estimating now.
I've learned a thing or two, but we did it in one day, right?
Yes, I was the test pond.
Yes. First front yard water feature.
You know. Lucky me.
So what was your experience with Aquascape? You said that, you know.
Oh, it was amazing. You came to the house and you had a vision. You know, we had an oak tree over there that...
Which we remember.
That died. And so we had to do something. So my husband said, well, how about a little pond thing? And that was before water features were so popular. And then we just happened to find you, and you came out and you said, well, you could do that, but you know, you have a natural drop off here. Then you laughed, and my husband goes, what did we just do?
Well, you know what? I tell you what you just did. For 22 years, we have not changed this water feature. It is just run. It is just literally run for 22 years. It's the same design 22 years later, which shows it works.
Only thing I put in it is the bacteria.
Yep. And look at how clean the water is.
I guess some people are afraid of these things because they think you have to put like a pool and chemicals. And you don't.
No.
And if you, in my opinion, very little maintenance because I enjoy it.
Right.
I want to be outside. You know.
Well, why would you not with that sound?
Well, that's exactly right.
And the pup loves it.
Up there. And when he's thirsty,
he
can get a little sip of water.
A natural water bowl. Well, thank you for the impromptu visit. We weren't planning on seeing you today.
So good to see you. I love you guys. I love you guys.
And we love you. And you know what? It's been a labor of love for me for 27 years. You've been doing it for 40...
My business?
Yeah.
45.
Wow. 45 years. And what is your business?
I am a full-time musician, a jazz banjo player.
How cool is that?
My own Dixieland band.
We will put a link in the description for her band because
Banjo Buddies Dixieland Band.
Banjo Buddy Dixieland Land.
That in there.
It is just fantastic. And this is what this channel is about. It's seeing longtime customers live in the aquascape lifestyle. And this is what we want to do. We want to expose more people to this stuff.
Great.
Which is why you should like, comment, and subscribe so more people can see cool people live in the aquascape lifestyle. I love my job. And that's what it's all about. 22 years she's been enjoying that water feature. And for me, that water feature, even though we bid it for really below what we should do now, this has been a labor of love. And this is what we love about our jobs.
But this waterfall is super, super cool. Like I love that one and how it fans out, right?
Yes, yeah.
It's more of like this fluvial fan type look.
Boy, that sounds like something Ed Ballou would say. Fluvial fan. Oh, wow, that's gorgeous.
Isn't it cool?
I love the dappled sunlight coming in. Oh, and it goes underneath.
Yep.
Holy cow. Yeah, you got some big rocks in here. That is so cool how it goes underneath there.
Okay.
Very interesting design. God, it looks gorgeous.
With a walkout basement, it's difficult because there's not really a kitchen that looks out to it, and the basement window never really looks out. But they had this room, and then they had some windows down in the basement here. But what you're referring to is this cool, like, kind of walkout area they had here.
Yeah.
And so the idea of going underneath it was just, it had to happen. And I'll show you why, because it's this window that sits over here.
Yeah, let's check it out.
So a lot of people might have taken the stream and come this way with it, which could have worked too, you know, on a bridge. But I wanted to try to still make it visible from inside the house. It would have definitely worked to do the stream this way with a bridge that led out to the yard. But because I still wanted to make it visible from the house, the idea was to bring the stream up as close to the house as possible.
I love that. Look at that window.
And that's their game room, right? So they've got like the whole finished basement and everything else. So you could imagine looking out that window, and the window sits about here on you, and then look at this little waterfall that nobody would see unless you were inside the house.
Oh yeah. Very neat with the depth of sunlight.
And so obviously we couldn't get a machine in here, so these are all hand-sized rocks.
Yes.
Back and through here, but still an awesome little waterfall.
Brian, without a doubt, my favorite element on this is how you curved it up to that window and underneath that walkway. I just think that's so neat. And this is the difference between hiring a trained, certified aquascape contractor and somebody with an artistic eye, and a guy that will just build you a 70-foot long stream.
Yeah, it's about 70 feet.
70-foot long stream is. The easy thing to do would be to bring it out here. The hard thing to do would be to carve it into the house, right underneath the deck, and go all the way down. But that's why we don't really do drawings.
Yeah,
because how you pick the stones and how you put it. I mean, I'm sure that when you envisioned this, you talked about that, but every rock is unique, so every water feature is unique, which is why you can't do drawings on stuff. This looks like a stream that you'd want to walk along in nature and then mess with the rocks.
Picture being a kid, right? Like you jump up on this rock, then you jump over there, and then like if I move this rock, it changes the flow. And if I dam this up, look at how water goes there, and I get a bigger pool. Like I remember building this, thinking what would I want if I were a little kid, even to the point where notice how the water got deep right here.
Yes.
And so I wanted that water to come through like a chute, slam into that rock, which would create more of an undertow.
Yeah.
Eroding away this, but look at like it starts getting deeper.
That feels good. Exactly. It's the little things, it's the little aspects, which is why we get into our work, which is why we love what we do. But by far and away, the fact that it goes underneath that walkway there, it creates mystery. When we're standing there, you can't see down there. When you're standing there, you can't see up here, so you're gonna want to, and you don't want to see the whole feature.
No, like
you want to have it hidden with landscaping or with natural structures.
I even want to leave here and show you some more of it coming down here. Like my favorite waterfall is this one down here. So even the plants are so strategic, right, to help create that mystery. So it makes you want to wander into here. But this one's cool, like, and people don't pay attention to this, but I remember setting this rock, and see how there's this depression right here?
Yes.
So it looks like the water's kind of eroded this away, and then I instantly saw that part of the water feature wasn't working, and this is where Mother Nature changes currents and stuff all the time. So over time, some gravel and stuff came through here. This got moved, however, some stuff over here got blocked, damming this up. Now watch right here. Okay. I'm just gonna open this up, and this is what I remember doing as a kid, and you probably remember doing as a kid. Some debris got in here. If I just open this up, look at how we start getting more water.
Yes. Flowing down that way.
Coming through there.
And that's what makes it fun.
Like, that's just cool.
And Brian really does think that's cool, which is why we get into our work.
Like, this is just a fun waterfall. And then look at how wide that is. So I think the key when building these things is some areas you notice we're choking it down to 6 inches wide, and then we open it up to 4 to 5 feet wide. Right. And then we choke it back down again.
Which also affects the sound. So this is a deep gurgling sound, and then it's a softer, more quiet sound when you have it spread out so far. This is falling into water, and if it's falling under a rock, you're gonna have a higher pitch sound. So it's not just the aesthetics, it's also the acoustics.
We can hear this one right now, and it's overpowering everything. You come over here. Now we're on the back side of that waterfall. It's virtually silent. You don't hear it anymore. And now you're only focused on the sound of this one.
You literally cannot hear that other waterfall. You only hear this one now.
See where kids have dropped some rocks in there to kind of dam things up and do different things. It's a very fun stream.
And it works with the topography of the property. This is probably a good 5-foot elevation change from the base to the top.
Oh yeah.
You know, over a 70-foot long run. But nobody would envision this in someone's backyard, which is why everybody that would come here would have to make a notice with this and have to talk about this, which is, if you want to make the neighbors jealous, get rid of trying to make the grass greener, put in a water feature. If you want to make the neighbors jealous, get rid of trying to make the grass greener, put in a water feature. Good work, my man.
Thanks.
Hey, if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and follow along, and share these videos so more people can see what living the aquascape lifestyle is all about. I love my job.